Hello everyone, welcome to another Witcher 2 video. And we are on a different chapter. We are on chapter 2, very beginning of it.
We have guests. Welcome, Stennis, son of Demavend. I invite you.
Greetings, Henselt. You seem at home in EVGA.
Fellow did so in your stead. I'm here at his behest. I've broken no truces or treaties yet.
Oh, is that so? Mr. Brogan, please escort Count Fellet to a secluded spot and remove his troublesome head.
Don't you dare! You're no king. Your father.
Nicely
My
done.
father is dead.
Said, rather.
The folks still mourn him while you betray his good name and his country.
Your Majesty, I must request your protection. This young man has lost his mind.
Take him away.
Your Majesty, what of our agreement?
I need you no longer, Fellet, now Stennis is here.
Anyone else wish to object? Wonderful. To the matter at hand, then.
Well said. I will show you my hand. I've over 200 armed men encamped nearby, enough to hold the fort for several hours. Another 5,000 battle-hungry lads await on the other bank. What say you to that?
In attacking EVGA, you would break the provisions of the Peace of Sintra. All the northern kingdoms will be obliged to support me.
None will stand with you.
Radovid of Redania, the Dukes of the South.
You dream, boy. They're not to be counted on. And the treaty, I piss on it as do they. You are alone.
Not entirely.
I'll stay out of this, Saskia.
Well, well, she has a voice. Saskia the Dragon Slayer. You're much prettier than they claim. You'll need to throw in the last two. Peasants should work the fields, not rebel and burn down the estates of their masters. It's to your advantage to give her up.
I'll not allow it. This land is under my protection. If no one
I didn't
else has
trust
the
that
courage to
Stannis for
stand
some
up to
reason.
you, I will. Listen well, King. You have 1 hour to quit Upper Eden with your forces. If you fail to do so, it's war. If but one Cadweni soldier remains on this land 1 minute past the deadline, it's war. You will instruct your heralds to proclaim around and about that you apologize to the people of Eden for this shameful incursion. Otherwise, it's war.
You've got balls, woman. My soldiers would call me a coward. Or a madman. I am Henselt of Ad Caraig. I'll not run from a woman, even a dragon slayer. That apart, you're a pretty fetching lass. I want this land. I want its gold. And I want you, dragon slayer. Grab them!
So, yes, firstly I'd like to apologize for not getting footage for the end of chapter 2. Not entirely sure why that happened. I thought I had recorded some more, but I've got none on my hard drive. So God knows what happened there. Didn't miss much, to be entirely honest. There was obviously just fighting the Karen and a couple of other things, and obviously the town falls into a bit of chaos at the end. But nothing really major, really. There's not much there. The Karen fight itself, I think I died once. Yeah, I had to try it again. But there's videos on YouTube for that fight. And there's really nothing else. All the other side missions, they would just drop in, like the latter one that I had to go back in. There was not much from there, not much footage would be available anyway. So might as well start on this chapter, which started really weirdly, as you can see. Definitely got some magical stuff happening, some crazy spell shit. It promises to be fun.
By the milk of Mother Creatrix's tits, Geralt of Rivia, and in the best company to boot.
Yarpin Zigrin.
It's been years, you old prick. It's great to see you in good health. Geralt, staring as if you've seen a ghost. Muster up a hug for an old friend. Geralt's head's not exactly on straight. Ha! Meaning you truly did in Foltest. Fine by me. Foltest was a ploughing niggard and a niggardly plougher. You did right, Geralt.
Not the point. Geralt's lost his memory.
And I didn't kill Foltest. Right. What's the difference? Someone did. We've bigger problems now.
Where's Saskia?
Oh, aye. Why is this butcher here?
I've come with 100 archers, the best in the world. We're here to aid your cause.
Well, you'll need to wait. Saskia and Prince Penis, rather Skinnis, went off to parley with Henselt. Me and the boys are waiting in case something goes wrong.
Looks like something is just about to go wrong.
The sun's gone dark. Call the sorceress!
Yeah, shit's going down.
Come, Geralt.
Yeah, I ran away. New enemies! Zombies! Gotta have zombies! It ain't a game without zombies. And Jorvet is going straight for it. So let's slice some zombies. Which apparently are made of dust. Condensed dust. You kill one appears. Great. I'm not doing much of dodging here, am I? Come on, Jorvet, give me a hand. Whoa, we got big ones. That's a huge shield they have, damn. I wonder if there's any of the signs that perhaps should be using against them for best result. Because I'm quite bad with the signs. Once they think they're dead, I'm not sure fire is of any use. Seem to be dust already. Ashes to ashes. Getting overwhelmed by zombies. Ash zombies. Oh, little birdie. Turn into a nuke? Or not? They're alive, so he wasn't a nuke. Maybe it was just a magical bomb. Probably was. Oh, a birdie is still there. Oh, it's a she. Okay, we'll follow her. So it looks like we well, it's not looks like we have to stay inside the little aura for protection. Some of them seem to die by the owl. It's an owl, I guess. Straight away. Should probably avoid the dark. And I died just up ahead. I don't think I actually died in the clip, but I did die a few seconds later. This is quite a long bit, so I cut the rest of it yet and jumped to the beginning of the actual town, where we have a meeting. Because you literally just keep doing this for a while.
And an opportunity to slay a monarch. There was a struggle and the prince was wounded.
You've all seen the magical phenomenon covering the battlefield.
Yeah, we just saw that.
This is no mundane mist, nor a petty fairground illusion. Most likely, we're up against a blood curse, an old and powerful spell. We do not know who cast it or why. For now, I have one piece of good news and several pieces of bad news. The good news is that Henselt and his army have been halted for the time being.
And the bad news?
The mist will grow. It may even engulf VERGEN. Furthermore, wraiths may emerge from it.
Can they be made penitent? With an axe to the head?
In theory, yes. But I would suggest putting your faith in a silver weapon. Furthermore, the ghosts will weaken as they move away from the mist.
Is there any way to drive it off? Exorcise it?
A question for myself and Geralt of Rivia.
The Kingslayer?
Contrary to what old women at the wells say, he did not, in fact, slay any kings.
Of course he didn't. Wouldn't hurt a fly, that one. Look at his eyes. You'll see he's the sensitive kind.
Whatever you may see in his eyes, few know more about lifting curses. Gentlemen, I do not require you to understand this phenomenon, but there are a few rules I insist you must follow.
Here we go.
No one is to approach the mist. It is mortally dangerous. In addition, we need to learn the story of the battle. For this, I especially count on the aid of Mr. Cecil Burden.
At your service, my lady.
Thank you.
My lady.
To lift the curse, we require
Or my witch.
symbolic of the war. Ones belonging to those who perished here 3 years past.
Pfft, more scrap iron from that massacre lying about than lice in Cecil's beard. I thought curses were best handled with...
Please leave the thinking to me, Mr. Zigrin, and I'd gladly hear less from you from now on. The objects must be magically active and strictly linked to the ghosts of the fallen. That is all.
Let me be clear. You're all to aid Philippa and the Witcher. What are you grumbling about now, Yarpen?
It's something in my gullet.
Take a swig of wine. Now, to worldly matters. How many are we?
Saskia, you know well.
How many?
We dwarves are near 200, but don't judge us by our number.
1,000 peasants will come, though you'll get no precise count.
My lords?
53 knights and another 200 armed men. Not enough.
Henselt leads 5,000, 5 to 1 against us. What think you of that?
We are few, they are many, but we have our walls, low though they be. If we had archers, who knows?
Oh, for a regiment of heavy arbalists from Lyria.
We have something better. Yorvith's elves. Scoia'tael.
Yellow.
Gentlemen, I give you Yorvith.
What do you seek here, murderer?
100 of the North's best archers await your orders, Dragon Slayer.
You wished for archers? Here they are. I take no pleasure in fraternizing with elves, but even a shit-coated stick can be a weapon. But he burned down the villages of many in my horde.
The free peasantry is one thing, but a criminal with a price on his head in all the northern realms? This is too much.
Saskia, say the word and we'll depart.
Hear me out. Yorvith came to fight for me. I trust him, and I know that he'll stay the course. Just like each of you.
How could you know that?
He's an elf. Treason runs in his veins.
He's been fighting humans for a century.
But for the first time in scores of years,
Because of humans?
makes sense.
Mostly.
The
Probably.
Scoia'tael know no peace. They've died for Nilfgaard, for the Valley of the Flowers, in vain. They've been betrayed and cheated. Now they have a new goal. The Pontar Valley could be the first state where no man would have to fear elven arrows when venturing beyond city walls. And elves and dwarves wouldn't live in ghettos or on reservations. First, however, we have a battle to win. You know who we're up against. It's a splendid army, brave and well led. They cannot be scared off or routed. They have to be killed. I want Yorveth to sit at the same table as we do. I want him to kill Cadweni for us. And I assure you that he'll do so with a smile, if only you let him.
If I'm to see a smile on that skinny face, I'm in. Yorveth stays.
Bloody hell. Father's turning in his grave, but a must's a must. I say aye.
Nay, you killed my men, Elf. Remember them?
If I hadn't killed them, they'd have killed me.
All right. For the sake of better times, and for Kedwen's doom, aye! Down with the sons of bitches! Cheers!
Cool. Now, who got their cup up? Just a couple of images or scenes ago, a cup was on the floor. Although, to be fair, it looked like a different cup. Possibly. And now she's being poisoned. Yeah, it looked like one of those cups that was lying down. And she's like drinking from a special cup.
Dying. Take her somewhere safe and guard her with your lives. I'll gather what I need and join you soon.
I'll place my best warriors on watch.
Oh, you should. You came all the way here for her and she's been poisoned when you just arrived.
She ceased casting spells.
Saskia, is she alive?
In a manner of speaking, I've slowed her life functions as far as possible. Her condition is stable.
Do you know the poison?
Thormador, commonly known as mage pain. It has a terrible reputation.
An antidote must exist.
What can we do?
Treatment will require herbs, magic, and blood.
Not ordinary blood, I presume.
Correct. We require royal blood.
We could use Letho right now.
The nearest king is on the other side of the Mist of Wraiths.
You misunderstood me. It need not be the blood of a ruling monarch. It is the genotype contained in royal blood that is required. Kings issue from ancient dynasties. Over the ages, to survive, rulers needed exceptional resistance and strength. As royal dynasties rarely admit common blood, the strength of their genes remains great. I shall employ self-healing genetic therapy that will teach Saskia's body how to rid itself of the poison.
Sounds complicated.
Human blood.
No, I shall inject it directly into her heart.
What kind of herbs are we talking about?
I'll need a subterranean variety of purple foxglove, known to the dwarves as the Immortelle, and an elven rose of remembrance.
Where will we find immortelles?
They grow deep beneath the earth, which should not be a problem as VERGEN lies on top of a mine.
How will they help Saskia?
Mage pain wreaks havoc in internal tissues. The Immortelle will help restore them.
Triss had a rose of remembrance. She claimed the flowers are exceptional.
Long ago, the Enshe who succeeded in cultivating the roses enjoyed great respect,
Times have changed.
as have elves.
There are no elven gardens nearby. We must return to Flotsam.
Triss has a rose of remembrance from Flotsam. It's her we need to find. What else do you need to heal Saskia?
Thormador is a self-perpetuating substance. Any incursion into a cluster of poisoned cells causes an immediate chain reaction. Each tainted cell that is removed is replaced by 10 new tainted cells. To interrupt this reaction, I'll need an ungodly amount of the power. A water or air genie, or one of the 20 legendary rings of power would be best.
One to bring them all and in the darkness bind them.
Right. And then I'll have to run barefooted to the top of a volcano.
All right, all right. Let's forget the rings. I need a vast quantity of the power, no matter the source. Find something.
An immortelle, a rose of remembrance, royal blood and magic sounds like a fairy tale.
A poor one at that. No prince's kiss to top things off.
I wish it were a fairy tale, especially a poor one, as a happy ending would then be inevitable. May I count on your help, Geralt?
You may. What about the Battle of Wraiths?
I must first see if the spells keeping Saskia alive are in order. Then we'll consider how best to send the spectres to their rest. Actually, you could tend to that yourself. Ask the locals about the battle, maybe you'll learn something.
In that case, I shall search for the poisoner.
Okay, so we finally get to move around the city. I did do a little walkabout before going into the meeting. It is a very confusing city. I don't like it. I mean, I like how it looks. I don't like to travel on it because I'm the type of always going the wrong way and never seeing the door that's right in front of him. So all these going ups and downs and underpasses and whatever is just really bad. And very early at the start, I actually am walking around like a hellish chicken.
People of VERGEN, we have a magical mist full of ghosts just outside our walls, so you'd better think twice before entering it. The mist, may the plague take it, threatens all manner of creatures, so anyone headed to the quarries or walking through the gullies should take exceptional heed. The squirrels that have made camp by the burnt huts are not our enemies, so says Saskia. So it is. Master Geralt of Rivia and Sorceress Philippa Eilhart will deal with the mist and the wraiths. And now, open the gates and get to work.
Alright, sounds good. So yeah, just taking a stroll around, going supposedly to the meeting point, even though I just passed the meeting point, or the not the meeting point. The entrance to that that mission or side quest. You know, I was going right there, and then I took this turn, and this is what ruined everything. I was following the sign, and obviously I was looking for the side quest there.
Strangers, more strangers.
Yeah, first I thought, okay, maybe it's bugged, maybe I'm missing the obvious, you know, which I was missing the obvious, actually. Maybe it's one of these people walking about. No such thing. But, you know, I eventually got there. I think this is the one that that took me the longest to figure out so far. So, I did do a bit of cutting there. I don't know what I actually did. I think I went up to the house at the top and left and walked around again and got back to the same place. Surprised I didn't cut this bit out though as well, because the only reason why I was there was to look for that side quest.
There goes the piece, eh?
Squirrels. It's a waste of words.
There's like one of these guys, surely, but you know they're not attacking. There's no action prompt. There's nothing. Hunting magic, royal blood. They seem to be quite long ones. And I don't think I'll really do any of them on this video. It's mostly accepting missions and going to the first few phases of the missions.
Eyes like embers. It raised his hand and pointed a finger.
I'd rather rabbit dog.
What happened then?
What do you think? He ran from the battlefield, fast as his legs would carry him. Lost his clogs on the way.
I'd run so fast. Hello, Witcher.
Greetings, colleague.
And here I came to find this vendor, which I already forgotten about actually. I'm pretty sure I'll be using him at some point when I come back from the missions and do the trade-ins.
Catch something big.
Thought we had a basilisk in the basement. Turns out it was just my wife getting cold.
And then we're back to the same place. Oh, I have a look down here as well in case it's here. I mean, I kind of got the idea almost there actually. It just need to go a bit further. So here we, I don't know if I actually did cutting there, I wasn't paying attention. But we finally got on our way to the right place.
I must talk to you, Richard.
What's going on?
I'm Elias, of Yorveth's commando. I have an urgent matter.
Tell me.
Men from VERGEN have been disappearing for some time. We recently found some of their corpses, so it doesn't seem to be desertion.
He actually sounds like Yorveth, doesn't he?
I need to see the corpses.
They're all buried.
Where?
Beneath a mound in the forest behind VERGEN, but you shouldn't go there.
A freaking noisy motorbikes. God's sake, piss off.
The families of the dead will be furious.
What state were the
Can't even
bodies in?
play in peace these days.
Nothing an elf would have done, nor a human.
Only men among the victims?
Young men, humans and elves.
Where did you find the bodies?
In different places, mainly in the burned village near the ravine that leads to the town.
I don't work for free.
You'll get your reward. Do well, and I may give you something more than coin. We're losing good men.
We got a weapon recently, so maybe some armor would be nice. Or boots. Apparently I was meant to have a set of armor from The Witcher 1, but I guess the save file I used wasn't the right one, or I didn't have a save file from it, or it was in a cloud.
Fell from the sky.
So, rest in pieces.
Sit down. We haven't yet celebrated your raid into the mist. Ah, sorry. Where are my manners? Sheldon Skaggs, veteran of the battles of Sodden and Brenner.
And all ends along the way.
You've already met Vergen's elder?
Greetings. Gentlemen, not sure about you, but my throat's parched from all these greetings.
Funny. Those were the first words out of your mouth.
Master Dandelion's right. Around for everyone. On me.
I'll gladly wash the road's dust from my throat.
Yeah, go for it.
Too bad Caleb Stratton's not here. May he rest in peace.
A worthy dwarf he was. Here's to him.
All he wants is drink, the Dandelion. Reminds me of, well,
Sheldon,
myself.
you're lagging behind.
I've got a little screw coming tonight.
More reason to drink makes you more vigorous.
My prick withers like an old crone's tits if I drink.
Tie a carrot to it.
So, what brings you here, girl?
Have you ever heard of a plant called the Dwarven Immortelle?
Have we? The pigs have tight arses.
To tell the truth, I've no idea, Skaggs.
But it's just a saying.
You're the only
Skag, so that reminds me of Borderlands. Damn, it's been a while.
It appears most often near anthracite and aluminosilicate deposits.
Philippa needs it to heal Saskia.
A rare curio, but there's a mine nearby, and who knows? You might find it deep underground.
Is the mine far?
Not at all. It's in VERGEN itself, in the town's upper quarter.
You're eager for this expedition, but nobody told the Witcher that the mine's closed.
Closed? That's true. But it's long overdue a cleaning. Weed out all the underground shit.
What are you talking about?
Not a month ago, miners started disappearing. Must have tapped the wrong vein and woken some scum from the...
So it's only been a month then.
We wanted to send a crew of stout fellows in, but Saskia said she needs all the soldiers she can find up top and ready to defend the town. We closed the shaft, fearing the filth would emerge and overrun us all.
Looks like we arrived just in time, eh, Geralt?
So it seems. Let's go.
Right on. With this crew, we needn't fear any monster. How about you, Sheldon? You coming with us, or staying around to get your fuck?
Another chance like this won't come around in a hurry. Fucking can wait. I'm with you.
Let's meet at the mine's entrance.
Well, maybe you die and that was gonna be your last fuck.
Geralt, right? My uncles told me a lot about you.
So we go see the another dwarf.
And Saskia. Well,
It looks smart, doesn't it?
The gods didn't think you could save her.
Your uncle?
Cecil. I help him out here and there managing VERGEN. Scaling burdens, my name.
Nice to meet you. What'll you do when the battle rolls around?
I'll be right out front fighting. Uncle Cecil's allowed it. Says I'm an adult. I'm gonna kick some kid.
You look like an adult. I mean, not size-wise, but everything else.
My uncle believes I can do it, and Yarpen taught me how to swing an axe with follow-through. I'll smash a few heads, then go to the tavern and drink till I drop.
Aye, I like that idea.
You're a tough dwarf. Cecil must be proud.
He raised me
Sure
a
is.
fella, and I'll not bring him shame, so help me. Otherwise, he'll take an oak club to my arse.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Is Cecil your guardian?
Aye, ever since my parents passed on. He took me in, fed me, taught me a profession and how to live, really.
How did your parents die?
During one of the massacres Demavend arranged for us. But I'd rather not talk of that.
Sure, sorry. I'm looking for places near VERGEN where magic would be strong. Somewhere a sorcerer might have stayed.
Let me think. Verfrin, a summoner of elementals, once lived in the wood beyond VERGEN. They say his creatures excavated the entire southern wall. You could also search the nearby ruins and abandoned crypts. If boulders with arms and legs aren't magic, then I don't know what is.
Hey, Scalen, wanna arm wrestle?
I really like to wrestle, but...
This is an annoying mission. Well, it ended up being annoying. I don't know what I'm missing.
Steady on! I've got conditions. First, you have to beat Yarpen and Sheldon.
Who should I challenge?
Those chumps. Yarpen Zigrin and Sheldon Skaggs.
Show me what you're made of.
I'm at the top of the pile, so you'll need to defeat the others first.
I can see that your arm's itching.
So I found these two guys there. I know the name didn't match, but I thought, okay, maybe something wrong with the game. So I fought them. But they're not the ones that I supposed to... Well, I fought them, I challenged them. They're not the ones that I'm supposed to arm wrestle. So, I don't know. And I don't know. I'm just leaving it to the end now, I'm just focusing on the other ones. But I thought I'd get it out of the way, because it was one of the easiest ones.
But
And since it was that early on, but I guess
Take your gold. That's well deserved.
I guess we'll just have to wait to the end instead.
Fancy taking on a dwarf?
That's how it is these days. Mages have descended from their towers and installed themselves at court.
Even worse, did I mention so? Got the helmet to the head. Sabrina Gledisy used to pound the table with her fist.
Perhaps that's why she's dead.
I screwed up there, didn't I? I went too far. So, okay, fine.
Dwarfs, no push.
Yeah, don't worry. Just get me or give me your the money back. I am asking for a refund and then some. I'm even getting compensation for losing. Yeah, compensation for losing. Who would have thought of that?
You're tough as mahakam and steel. The prize money is yours.
Thank you very much.
Lots going on around here.
Aye, I'm gonna virgin dragon slayer. Squirrels dazzled with her. Politicking peasants, witches and a witcher. And onlookers gawking at the whole thing.
Hope things get back to normal soon.
Yeah, and I wish I could find those guys that I'm supposed to actually arm wrestle. And I went back to him.
Hey, Scalen, wanna arm wrestle?
Just to see if, you know, it was buggy or something.
Who should I challenge?
But no.
He regrets that decision. You can see it in his eyes.
Maybe thinks he's made a mistake.
So I guess I'll have to finish the mines mission so that I free them up, and then I can actually arm wrestle them.
Look, another one. You let one human in and in no time you've got us.
Oh, stop whining.
Since when do noblemen fight peasants?
Sign of the times. Saskia treats the peasantry as our equals. And once you let a dog inside, it'll never sleep in the doghouse again. But that's not for me to judge. The point is, you can make good coin on fistfights. Care to give it a go?
Any rules to this?
Each contender puts down his stake, which rises the more fights he wins. If you want to fight, put down some coin. Up for the next fight, or are you just going to stand there and go?
I've got more pressing business than slapping people around. Enjoy yourselves.
Well, that's what I thought. However, I changed my mind.
Or are you just going to stand there and go?
A worthy contender, please.
For starters, you'll fight a novice. Stand and fight, but first, show me your coin. In that case, betting is now open.
Stop stroking him and rough him up!
Alright, let's kick some ass. Nice and easy.
Slug him between the eyes.
You shouldn't have gotten up. Told ya. Stay down.
That was a sight for sore eyes. Beautiful fight. Congratulations on your win. You're moving up the ranks, sir, just like your winnings. Ready for another fight?
A worthy contender, please.
The better the opponent, the better the fight. The better the fight, the higher the stakes. The higher the stakes, the bigger the winnings.
Well, that would make sense, wouldn't it? So let's get some winnings. Because, not really expecting much of a challenge from anyone there. So, and remember, I'm playing on easy, so. The originally the hard thing was getting used to that orange controls. Those commands are just not great, but I got used to them, so happy days.
Finally, an end to the flailing and someone with a touch of finesse. The pool is yours. You're moving up the ranks, sir, just like your winnings. Ready for another fight?
Oh yes.
I've got more pressing business than slapping people around. Enjoy yourselves.
Stop stroking him and
Or not.
Up for the next fight?
Oh yes.
A worthy contender, please.
I guess I couldn't make up my mind, could I?
This is the strongest lad I know. He's knackered many a plough horse. The
Wow.
fortune he's made in his fist-fighting career makes
Sounds
many
exciting.
a nobleman green with envy. Place your bets. Hurry before it's too late. In that case, betting is now open. Slug it between the eyes. That was a sight for sore eyes. Beautiful fight. Congratulations on your win. A wonderful show of strength, precision, and agility. Seems there's no one left to challenge the new champion.
You couldn't be more wrong.
Sir Silbrat?
It is I.
Oh, there's one.
Funny seeing you here. You've always claimed such fights were a primitive diversion for commoners.
A true knight duels another in the exquisite company of ladies and real gentlemen.
Oh, I'll never forget the great achievements of Selkirk in the tourneys.
On many occasions did my brother prove his greatness. Alas, the world's going to the dogs. Today a knight must challenge commoners to prove his bravery. But there's a witcher among you. And though his blood is no match for mine, his warring mastery is satisfactory. Perhaps when he drops to the ground at my feet, you'll realize I'm not merely Selkirk's brother. I'll be known as Silgrat, every witcher's worst nightmare. I challenge you, witcher. The wager is 2 sacks of gold. Believe me, Silgrat doesn't challenge any old serf.
You want to prove you're your brother's equal? Show me what you're made of.
Stand and fight.
Don't be afraid of him!
Good start. I mean, best half for him. All mouth.
Slug it between the eyes.
You won.
Haha.
Finish me off.
I'm no murderer. Besides, it was only a fist fight.
I'd rather have died at your hands.
Oh, the drama.
Just like you wanted.
You fail to understand. My reputation is ruined, my honor gone.
I thrashed you and won a pile of coin. Not sure I care about your reputation.
Silgrat forgets no insult.
Congratulations to the victors and thanks to the vanquished. You proved your mastery, Witcher. Fighting you is an honor. Let's tend to the pool.
Something tells me that guy is gonna show up later in the game to annoy us. So yeah, I jumped right outside of town.
Don't let her die, Vatkin.
Trying to finally move about a little bit and actually go somewhere, which doesn't really happen. I mean, I do move a bit, yeah. That's about it.
We were mining up at the face of the drive like in the old days.
All these lefts, rights, up, downs.
I couldn't stand it.
So annoying. The city itself reminds me a fair bit of Markov in Skyrim, because of the stone nature of buildings, beds, things, and the town itself.
That was a dumb idea. Baldy, squirt, something like that.
Ah, that's all they're doing. Alrighty.
What is it, Witcher?
Who is that girl?
Cynthia, a leashed sorceress.
A charming expression. Do you also use muzzles?
Leash means a connection between a sorceress and her assistant. An unfortunate term, I admit, but it explains how things are. Cynthia can tap my power, use my spells. She's a conduit. And she's learning along the way. It's convenient, and except for the name, not derisive at all. But you're not here to talk about Cynthia.
No, she looks kinda cute. We can talk about her.
A sorceress like you ought to know bundles about the wild hunt.
A sorceress's knowledge has nothing to do with superstitions.
The hunt's not a superstition.
True, the phenomenon seems to exist.
I want to know everything there is to know about it.
It's strictly atmospheric. It doesn't interest me. Just as whirlwinds, whirlpools, and snowfalls do not interest me.
Fine.
Have you heard about a witcher's school? Apparently the Viper's their sign.
No. Why do you ask?
The Kingslayer wears a medallion adorned with a viper.
Pretentious and childish for my taste. He can't be very smart.
Have you heard about a witcher's school? Apparently the...
No.
The King's...
Pretentious and...
Is what they say true? Did Saskia kill a dragon?
Prince Stennis
I did mess up a bit on the chat there, going to bits that I already gone, which happens a lot.
If you want to know the details,
Sometimes I cut them out though. Well, I often cut them out actually.
How is it that King Radovid's court sorceress and advisor is supporting a rebellion in EDIRN?
This has grown into more than a simple rebellion, Witcher. Prince Stennis' arrival here confirmed Saskia's right to represent EDIRN.
Saskia isn't fighting for EDIRN, but for the Pontar Valley. Even Prince Stennis considers you rebels. He hasn't moved against you because war with Kedwen hangs by a thread. Why are you here, Sorceress of Tretogor?
It is my duty. If Henselt occupies the Pontar Valley, Redania and Temeria will respond strongly. The North will disintegrate, its unity gone. A dark scenario that is nevertheless avoidable, provided Saskia is successful and wins the Valley's independence.
Even if she thwarts Henselt, there'll be no independence without agreement from Redania and Temeria.
Temeria's expansionist plans melted away with Foltest's death. Redania's ruler is unpredictable, but even he'll have to respect a victory. I'm here to make this victory a fact.
All right. I'm sure it will be.
I'm looking for Triss. Letho forced her to teleport near VERGEN.
Letho?
Foltest's killer, perhaps Demavend's too. Will you help me find her?
Certainly. We sorceresses must stick together. We have too many enemies.
Triss contacted you through Sheila de Tanzerville's megascope while in Flotsam.
And I haven't heard from her since.
Can you locate her?
A megascope responds to a person's aura. If I had something of hers, I could find her. You were close to her. Maybe you have something.
No, I don't have anything.
How dare you not have something?
Wait.
Yeah, even she said not good.
Saw a redhead fall out of the sky. This could be a lead.
I never heard of flying women before.
Perhaps they're just drunken delusions. It's possible, however, that an unstable teleport ejected Triss near the town.
As it's our only lead, I'll talk to this drunkard. Do you know him?
I'm not used to associating with drunkards, but you'll likely find him in the inn.
Thank you.
Come back as soon as you learn anything.
She's pretty.
You wanted to discuss something?
You said we'd need a magical object to cure Saskia. Any ideas where I might start looking?
Magical items do not grow on trees, as you know. Luckily, this
That's a
area
shame.
has a long history. There's the Battle of Wraiths, the site of Sabrina Glevisig's death and suffering, the abandoned mines.
I was hoping you'd be specific.
I won't ask you to traipse around with a divining rod, but please try to be a little inventive. Ask the locals, that's always a good place to start. I dare say Alderman Burden knows every last stone in the area. Maybe you should see him.
Okay.
You wanted to
At the council, you mentioned artifacts were needed to undo the curse.
I keep forgetting
But I
bits
can't
of the
look
chat.
for them now.
I didn't realize that.
Why?
I have my reasons. Tell me something. Did you notice? Not all the ghosts were aggressive.
Yes. Most just disappeared when they touched the aura of a living person.
I think the curse corrupts the ghosts of the fallen and turns them into draugrs.
Is that the Witcher's professional name for wraiths?
Draugrs are demons of war. They arise at sites of exceptionally vicious, bloody battles. Their bloodlust and hatred in condensed form.
Can you kill them by conventional means?
A silver sword is enough for a draugr, but as long as the curse remains active, new ones will arise. The soldiers' ghosts are the key. If I could turn the tide of the battle...
For that you'll need symbols of war belonging to those who fell in battle. Hatred, death, courage, and faith. All artifacts must be magically active and connected to the fallen, or they won't lure the ghosts.
Right. I'll look around.
Finding two will be enough. Get the symbols of hatred and death and leave the rest to me.
I'd prefer courage and faith.
Don't do this.
I'll see what I can do. Cecil seems to know a lot about the area. What happened here 3 years ago?
Henselt attacked EDIRN, but met his match. Nobody won that war. Sabrina Glevisig got into a conflict with the commander-in-chief of the Kedweni forces, and this led to both armies being routed. Fireballs turned the battlefield into a flaming tomb. Henselt accused Sabrina of using a forbidden weapon.
And Sabrina cursed Henselt.
I think so. I suspect the curse got out of hand because of the circumstances.
Circumstances? The stars weren't right, wrong phase of the moon. There's always an excuse for simple bungling.
She placed the curse while burning at the stake. Her hands and feet nailed to a wagon wheel. I'd say she did a good job, considering.
Alright, sounds rough. Fair enough.
Know anything about blood curses?
Do you?
We're dealing with a 4th level curse, also known as the Curse of the Archmistress.
Well, well, I'm impressed.
Thing is, until now I thought it was only a myth, that such a curse couldn't be cast.
You thought wrong. There are 6 confirmed cases of this curse being inflicted.
What about confirmed cases of it being lifted?
1. Achieved by a team of sorcerers led by Archmistress Francesca Finderbear, hence the curse's other name. Sabrina Glevisig was on the team.
Small world.
That's not all. The curse investigated by Francesca and Sabrina was designed to end the Tyson dynasty, the rulers of Kovir. They were cursed by Scarlet Rodalega, a complete madman, but very talented. An eclipse and wraiths also accompanied his curse.
So Sabrina's curse is just a knockoff Rodalega.
Exactly.
Well, that makes me feel better.
Good for now. I'll let you
Not
know
really.
when I learn something.
Remember the antidote for Saskia. It's very important.
Okay. So, I know, we're an hour into the video and haven't actually gotten any gameplay. Like, we got Ghost to chat with, so who cares?
A mage in training. Philippa is my mentor.
Yeah. I like your hair.
No need for that. True, she's a demanding mistress, but she can also be charming. Besides,
I bet.
she's the best there is, Witcher. She has no equals, excepting perhaps the old elven sorceresses. You should see her cast spells. Light and graceful she is, not like that old tart de Tanzaville.
Just out of curiosity, how much does a magic course cost these days?
I'm certain you can't afford it, Witcher. Besides, you're too old.
No matter. I have a few of my own tricks as it is.
You mean Witcher's signs? Philippa can conjure up the illusion of a garden full of flowers, fruit trees, and young elves of both sexes copulating merrily all the day. And the illusion is complete. The flowers have an aroma. The fruit and she-elves are juicy.
Invite me over the next time she conjures up this garden. I'd gladly see it. Professional curiosity.
Naturally.
Of
But
course.
I doubt Philippa's in the mood for complicated illusions. She focuses all her efforts on Saskia.
You know Sheila?
I've seen her cast spells. I've seen all the great sorceresses at work. Sheila's quite manly in her style. Precise, logical, exceptionally composed. But she lacks grace and suppleness.
Is that your opinion?
I don't think feminists would like your description there.
We agree in our assessment.
Well,
Triss
fuck
Merigold,
feminists anyway.
on the other hand, is talented. But she lacks
Yeah,
determination,
more than once at least.
courage, and a certain cold willfulness that seems necessary.
That's interesting.
Kira Metz and Margarita Low-Antiel are both blasé, seemingly resigned. One's a hedonist and nymphomaniac, the other cares only about her school. They lost enthusiasm for magic long ago. Then there's Francesca Finderbear. Nobody really knows what the old she-elf is capable of, but she's clearly very powerful.
I take it Philippa has none of these flaws, but she must have some weakness.
Ambition. Infinite, boundless, and burning like the Korath Desert.
Okay. Yes, Geralt, don't look. It's a lot of running around in the same place. So we've got some updates on some of the missions. So we've got things to follow for sure. The Eternal Battle. Guess we'll just develop a couple more missions before we actually start kicking ass. I don't think we get into any fight in this video. I don't think so. Other than the ones obviously at the beginning, the arm wrestling and the fist fight. But I think the next video starts with us leaving the city. And that one I think is mostly commentated as I play, I think. So hopefully it'll be a bit easier to edit, as well as something a bit more, I don't know, more apt to the task, more realistic in a way, as I'll be talking as things actually happen. On the other hand, I think it may be a bit more quiet, so we'll see if that works out. And here I went up and then came back down, so I just cut that because, well, I had to come was here. So I was making the same mistake that I made at the beginning, which was following the map, which is not always the best thing to do. So yeah, we'll see.
Let me tell you about
We'll see how those next few videos go.
One free tracker than the next.
Yeah, woman falling from the sky. I should stop drinking.
Sorcerers mutated among the gods.
Yeah, I guess I didn't have anything to ask him.
I think I've heard of you.
Good thing you're here, Geralt. A rhyme for wonder?
I'm no poet.
Oh, this guy always has something to say, though.
Yonder?
Good.
Writing a sonnet for your new muse?
Better than that. I'm composing an anthem for VERGEN. Want to hear the first version?
No.
Listen. May those who dream of freedom arise.
I just said no.
Seeing the sight of liberty with their eyes. Let us go together, become our brother. The choice is yours, you know there's no other. How far shall we venture in this great wander? Elf, dwarf, and human set forth together yonder. Like it?
It rhymes, kind of.
All right then. Tell me what you discovered.
Covered a few things.
One thing's for sure. Letho's not on this side of the fog.
If you wanted to pursue the assassin, you should have gone to Hensel's camp with Roach.
Just because I went after Triss doesn't mean I've forgotten about Letho.
Why do you care so much? It's not your coop or your chickens.
Letho knows a lot about me. There are certain things that probably only he can explain.
I'm not so sure you want to know them.
We'll see.
Let's say you catch him. What then?
I'll decide once I've heard him out, learned the truth. Maybe I'll see his point. Maybe I'll just cut off his head. My memory's coming back. It's just bits and pieces so far, but I can feel them coming together, forming a whole.
What have you remembered?
A voyage, an endless trek south. I was following Yennefer and the Wild Hunt. I have no idea how long. It got cold. Only old people were left in the villages I passed through, but they all refused to tell me what had happened to the young, to their children. I finally pressed a man for information. He blamed it on wolf packs, on an outburst of drowners and rot fiends. No one mentioned the Wild Hunt.
Did you catch up to the hunt?
I don't know.
Got anything you can follow?
I'm looking. You once mentioned some elven poems about the hunt.
I believe I said they could exist, and they'd be old. I don't know any, but look around. You're pretty good at finding things.
How the hell is this guy following me on Twitter?
My memories and feelings seem inextricably linked. I seem to be recovering both. I believe Yennefer's alive, and I'll eventually find her.
Triss, Yennefer, that's some life you lead, my friend.
First off, we have no idea if Yennefer's still alive. Second, we have no idea if Triss is alive.
True. You seem to have two women, when in fact, you don't even have one.
Their kind doesn't die easily.
Shut the fuck up.
I'll find Triss, alive.
And Yennefer?
I won't know what to do about her until I see her. Yorvith seems to have changed.
Everyone changes here. Except you, of course.
I'm not sure I like changes of that kind. I find them hard to believe.
You're an idiot. Saskia's giving Yorvith a chance. If he uses it well, he'll finally be able to emerge from that hole in the ground he's been living in for years. That's the least of it. If he plays his cards right, he can win everyone's respect. People only remember what they want to remember.
I suppose you're right. A free state in the Pontar Valley could turn Yorvith from a brigand into a knight.
Which is why it's useless to wonder why he's changed. I wouldn't trust him with my child. But who knows what he'll become?
Is it my imagination, or have you become a propaganda mouthpiece for the court?
You know what I really like about this place? There is no court. People are with Saskia because they want to be, not because they have to or should be.
You have a tendency to go from one extreme to the other.
And you have a tendency to shit on every ideal, even the most noble.
I try to take an objective view of the world.
Yet you've joined us. You have, haven't you?
I'm on Vergen's side, at this time.
Don't want
Sort
to
of.
eh? Well, Vergen isn't some whore you can just screw and forget.
I just want to make sure that woman named Vergen doesn't end up screwing me.
Let me see if I understand your position correctly. Kiss my right cheek, kiss my left cheek. Just don't kiss me on my butthole.
Whenever I see that stupid romantic spark in your eyes,
something like that.
Just know I'll have to haul your ass out of some new swamp very soon.
Oh, screw you! Lots of humans, dwarves, even elves around here would follow me into fire.
I hope you're right about that.
Alright, then the lion. Go play a song or something.
Lots going on around. Hope that...
Don't think there's anything else left for me to do in Yin. Is there?
play, I win.
Oh, yes.
And my winnings include a nice collection of mementos. See, history. That's what I find fascinating. You might even call me an aficionado.
A collection, huh?
I see.
Varied?
Well, for example, some items left by the Dun banner. A wool coat I'm really proud of. Absolutely unique it is.
Not sure I have anything to offer that would interest you.
Not to worry. I'll always take coin if you lose. And you can choose from my collection.
Alright. Okay, actually, that's what I was thinking about earlier. Yeah. Alright. I'll explain soon enough. I think the dice on The Witcher 1 was slightly better to play. But that was better. But also has a Steam achievement, which I don't really care for. Oh, and the new weapon, which is the weapon I was talking about earlier. I'm getting confused. Just too much time spent editing rather than playing, and I'm actually getting all mixed up. But yes, we got a new sword, which slightly overpowered for what we've been doing up to now. But again, we haven't really fought anything in the second chapter, so it may well be. And I'm not changing it until I actually have to. I just need to keep an eye on my weight though, because don't want to end up full in the middle of missions and can't carry stuff, which may happen. I don't know if I sell stuff before I start missions on the next video. I hope I do, because otherwise I can't collect a lot of stuff. And hopefully we... Oh yeah, there's that one, of course. The main reason we actually entered... Yeah, I don't think there's anything through that with the supposed door kind of thing. That looks like a stable. We're supposed to, get in there with horses and get out. I will venture into upstairs, see if there's anything in these rooms. I don't know, maybe some whores having a good time. Nope. You see all that? It's like all stone seats and things like that. It's so much like Markov in Skyrim. Although there's more wood here than there is in Markov. Well, empty rooms. Was that the first room that I went into? Yep, it was indeed. There's too many doors for me to remember them. That was my cue, but I still left. I don't know why I still left. Alrighty. And we have the mission board here. Cool. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 missions. And that's pretty much what sets me up for the rest of this chapter, I suppose. And for the next videos. So we accepted the missions. and we can, once we finish all this chit chat in town, we can actually go and have some action.
Greetings.
Not sure why I was walking around here, but just go back to the inn, I think, because the other thingy, which is I suppose the one I'm checking, yeah, it disappears. So that one there. Just go back to the inn.
Witcher.
Not him, ignore him.
Let me tell you about the woman who fell from the sky.
Ah, you've told that story 1,000 times. I've heard enough of flying women.
It was very unusual.
What the hell am I doing?
You return home soaked. I've heard of you.
The hell?
Business or rest?
Rest, and maybe some trading.
Ah, welcome. How can I help you?
I'm looking for places steeped in magic. You remember any stories of sorcerers or magical places in the area?
Not counting the fire-spitting bits from 3 years ago. Well, a sorcerer once lived in the wood beyond Vergen. You can look there. Maybe something's left. You might also speak to Cecil. Nobody knows Vergen's history as well as our alderman.
Let me tell you about the woman who fell from the sky.
How can I help? See you again.
I heard you saw something interesting.
As clearly as I see you. Amazing. I look into the sky. But wait.
I wonder how clear you actually see, Geralt.
Well, you shut it already. We can all recite this bullshit now.
I'm a client and I'll say what I want. Pour me some Mahakaman mead and no cheating. This noble way
Mahakaman.
will
I
pay.
like the name. Get me some Mahakaman mead.
I'm not about to buy a pig in a poke.
I like it.
Not a pig, but a beautiful woman. And not in a poke, in the sky. You won't regret it.
Innkeeper, you said you could recite the story. Tell me.
If you pay for 2 bottles of mead, this drunkard guzzled.
The innkeeper's too dumb to tell such a beautiful story.
But he's sober. How much for those bottles?
Luxury establishment. Just look at the clientele. Same price you'd see anywhere.
Tell me.
A few days ago, a red-headed woman and a huge
Alright.
man appeared in the gullies, as if they'd fallen from the sky. The man left while a troll found the woman and took her deep into a ravine.
That's all?
No, I told you this tongue wagger would ruin my story.
That was exactly your story, just not embellished.
If you want to know the whole story, you'll have to pay for my mead.
And honestly,
I know all I need.
no.
Godspeed.
One freak bigger than the
Spent
next.
enough. And you shut up about freaks. So bit of editing there. That's definitely not the outside of the inn. I just went walking around, did absolutely nothing, so not gonna waste our time, and let's go straight to here, which is actually where we're starting that mines mission.
The Witcher's on board.
Well, sort of, because I don't actually start it. It's just part of the trigger, having a chat with them.
If you kill off those monsters, the whole of Vergen will be grateful. I'm sure some coin would be found.
We'll keep that in mind, Cecil. So, Sheldon, you opened the shaft yet?
Keep your pricks in your trousers. You can't just plough forward all the time. A mine is like a lover. You need to be gentle, so she accepts you moist and hot.
You and your music, Sheldon.
Works on the mines. So yeah, I should probably go there. But do I? Nah. Go speak with the old elves. This is actually quite a long conversation, way longer than I thought.
Feed ourselves nor fortify our walls with rebel slogans alone. But rest easy. Stennis and the nobles won't get a single orrin from us. Though, of course, the prince is just waiting for the right moment to get his grubby hands on our finances.
I'm sure his motivations are pure, and he'll do it exclusively out of regard for his subjects. How long have you been alderman?
My predecessor was killed 3 years ago. I was one of his advisors. I knew my way round this circus. So, I volunteered to manage things. No one opposed me. Mostly I deal with trade and taxes, and I organize assorted matters. In the end, everyone listens to Saskia exclusively, me included.
How are things?
Everyone awaits the battle. Some pray, others drink. Zoltan and Yarpan are chasing peasants around the square. They need a bit of drilling. Yorveth's warriors are trying to be inconspicuous, and so they should. I'd feel better if they crawled up the devil's arse and disappeared. But Saskia thinks we don't stand a chance without them.
And that's my phone. Great timing as usual.
Do you know anyone who fought in the war 3 years ago?
I did.
Did you fight here at Vergen?
Of course.
Philippa claims you know a bit about the battle.
That old kook insult, called king by some, thought that AEDIRNians were bumpkins who'd shit bricks as soon as his troops crossed the river.
Why did he attack EDIRN?
According to Henselt, Upper EDIRN is the ancient legacy of the Kedweni crown and must be returned to the mother country. Brazen farter.
That brazen farter had a point. If you read some history, you'll know that 300 years ago this land belonged to Kedwen.
Load of crap. 700 years ago the elves reigned here, and 1,000,000 years ago these lands were the domain of the worms. If things worked that way, every king could invade a neighboring land and claim his right to do so because an ancestor took a dump there.
All right.
Fair point.
Council wanted to conquer Upper EDIRN. What then?
He rolled in, got hammered, and rolled out.
Cecil, that doesn't help me much.
It wasn't a battle. It was a slaughter. If I try speaking of it, I'll see it all again. I don't want it.
The ghosts of the fallen fight in the mist. They turn into horrible creatures called Draugrs. EDIRNians, Kedweni, men, elves, and dwarves too.
Bloody hell. No peace even after death.
I want to help them, but I need to know more about the battle.
Very well. Listen, a beautiful day that grew hot later. Very hot. When Van de Grift attacked in the afternoon, he sent the Dun banner at the fore. Many of our lads shit themselves at the mere
Jesus Christ. Leave me alone.
Under the cover of night, we prepared fire pits. Our archers lit them up at the right moment. I still can't believe we managed to fool their scouts. If it wasn't for that ambush, we wouldn't be speaking today. They likely wouldn't be in Upper EDIRN at all. We decimated the Dunbanner, but that was only the beginning. SUBTERRANEAN was our commander. Everywhere he appeared, the Kidwennies gave ground. He wreaked havoc among them. Hearts rose at the mere sight of his armor. Then Vandegrift himself entered the fray. SUBTERRANEAN met him in the middle of the field. In the end, Vandegrift killed SUBTERRANEAN. A terrible death that sent the AEDIRNian ranks into disarray.
Let's just put this on not disturb mode. How about that?
Fire
Good.
covered the battlefield.
And my phone froze as well.
They
Fantastic.
were all looking for somewhere to flee. Yes. There were no more friends and enemies. Only the living and the dead. They say it was the doing of a Kidwenny sorceress who wanted revenge on Vandegrift. Could be true, as Henselt had her executed right after the battle.
Did you see the duel between SUBTERRANEAN and Vandegrift?
I stood half a furlong from them. Never seen a fight like it. Probably never will again. They'd already met once at a jousting tournament in Ardcarreg. SUBTERRANEAN won there. He beat on the visitor so hard he broke his sword. SUBTERRANEAN was a true knight, the last of his breed. Vandegrift was so pissed off after that tournament he hanged the smith who made his sword and ordered a special one from a sorcerer. I bet he cut down SUBTERRANEAN with that new sword.
Vandegrift is dead. What happened to his sword?
Saskia's got it. Good thing too. Only her hand can tame the hatred enchanted in that sword. After the battle, when the flames abated, the scavengers came. They stole everything. Imagine, not a single keepsake or SUBTERRANEAN in the whole of EDIRN. His brother babbles something about a gauntlet, but he's a lying dog.
You saw the Kidwennies cross the river?
From afar, I saw Vandegrift leading 4,000 heavily armed men. Many a heart sank when we saw the elite bearheads or the armoured banners from Ardcarreg. The Dun banner was in the middle, veterans of Brenna. As soon as he set foot on AEDIRNian land, Vandegrift climbed a hill and surveyed the area, as if it was his fief. Son of a bitch was as sure of himself as ever. Upon spying him, I remember the dwarves all dropped their trousers and showed him their asses. Then SUBTERRANEAN stepped out in front of us. His white armour shone in the sun. We were afraid a Kidwenny arbalist would shoot him, but they too stood as if frozen. And SUBTERRANEAN just looked at them and bowed ever so slightly.
Remember anything from before the battle?
As if it was yesterday. Henselt's troops crossed the Pontard the third day after the autumn equinox. EDIRN had good spies, so we were ready for them, and SUBTERRANEAN lined up our troops along the hills. Our hearts rose at the sight of the banners of Vengerberg, Aldersberg and Gullet fluttering in the wind. Knights and armoured infantry side by side in our ranks. Even the peasants had their regiments. The dwarves were on the left flank. Over 5,000 strong we were. Nobody caring about race or background, like never before. Only King Demavend was missing. But he must have had more important business than defending his country.
You captured the Dunbanner standard?
Henselt's choice troops, and not a one survived. The visitor sent them to their deaths, refused to give them reinforcements. He was a monster in human form. The men of the Dun were real swaggerers. Killed a lot of our lads, but for every Dunner, there were 7 AEDIRNians.
There's a lot of information in this chat, and you do it does get required later on in the game. It's just there's no way I'd remember most of it. In fact, I barely remember any of it.
I'm going to need that.
And I've heard it now about 3 times after editing and stuff, and now doing a voiceover.
That was helpful. I think I know what I need to
but yeah, I know this video was mostly boring. Maybe completely boring. Who knows? You're the ones to judge. But at least most of the stuff is done in terms of starting missions, all this chatter and storytelling. So we should get more action on the upcoming videos. and the commentating will be slightly different, I think, as well. But in the end, yeah, it's great storytelling. I mean, this game is amazing at that, and it definitely saw there some great pieces of dialogue for sure. And I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you with some action on another video pretty soon. Thanks.